Greetings from the grave. I'm Haddonfield's homeboy, Jamie Myers.
I'm the Killer King of Crystal Lake. The one and only. The voice!
Up in this motherfucker.
Up in this bitch. Right here. Hey. Ho.
Nice. So back to the fucking remake nonsense.
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy, man, how this new generation that's supposedly smarter than our generation. Dude, we're the testing ground generation. Anyone...
Generation Lab Rats, right there.
Yeah. And we know there's more of you out there that are subscribers. You know.
It ain't about age. It really isn't.
No,
So all of the younger viewers, don't get us wrong, we're not sitting here looking down upon you going, okay, you were born
in 1988, so you don't know shit.
89, 87, 90, 95, so you don't know shit. No. Obviously, if you agree with us and you're down with us, you respect the classics and you like them for what they are and what they did and what they were about. And maybe you even share your views on how these fucking remakes are just goddamn ridiculous. And for that, we thank you. But for anyone who thinks that a remake is going to be better than the original, and we know, I hate this fucking argument, we know the remakes are not going to wipe away the classics. We know that remakes may bring attention to the classics that may have been forgotten in time. Oh fucking well, dude. I don't really care about that. If you don't know about it, then you don't know about it. Then you're not out there looking.
Yeah, you're not out there looking.
You know? Instead, you're going by what MTV's leading you. You're going by what the douche nozzle's leading you. You're following the trend.
You gotta lay the groundwork, man. You gotta...
Horror has always been the trend killer. When it came to movies, horror was the trend killer. They followed a formula. It's not a trend, it's a formula. They followed the formula. But horror in the 80s and early 90s was far from a trend. If you watched horror movies, you were one of the fucking scary kids that sat in the corner of the cafeteria that no one ever wanted to fucking talk to.
Yeah.
All of the talk show hosts had fucking horror in their crosshairs. Yeah. Parents groups were lines up and down the blocks against horror movies. So it was far from a fucking trend.
Yeah, I got in trouble for some shit.
Now you
when I was a little kid.
Yeah, now you can go and get cool little Friday the 13th pins.
And action figures and nonsense.
And all that.
That
but
shit
back
wasn't
then,
around back then.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
There was no toys.
No.
Excuse me. There was no internet to find replica masks. The best you could do was get one of those generic hockey masks and then take the time to do the shit.
Yep.
That's all this is a generic hockey mask.
Yep.
That they sell every Halloween.
It was just taking the time.
But it was taking the time. It was painted. The holes were drilled. And everything like that. We didn't have any of that shit back then. We were the bad guys.
Yep.
You know, back in the 80s, the trend was John Hughes. The trend was, you know, Rambo and action movies.
Yeah,
and
Van Damme and stuff.
Yeah, the weird comedy movies. Like, you know, John Hughes. That was the trend.
Yeah, 80s teen movies and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
There's horror movies going right by against the grain.
Yeah.
Going the opposite direction.
Breaking barriers, but never recognized as a legitimate art form until the late 90s.
But it's still not, though.
Well, of course it's still not.
It's still not.
Compared to where it was and where it is, it's definitely climbed the ranks. But the reason it has is because of the fucking remakes.
Yeah, and because Hollywood knows, you know, that the country is in a bad state right now, and they're losing money off all their action and all their bullshit that's all CGI'd out. So like, oh yeah, that shit from the 80s made a lot of fucking dough.
And here's the thing. They spent $10 million, which is a ridiculous amount of money. And I know that most of it went right into the douche nozzle's fucking pockets. And, well, actually more than that. And then when Friday the 13th came out, it made $45 million. Some people say $60 million. No, it didn't. I checked the stats personally. $45 million. Because me and this dude were in an argument about who was going to get the bigger bang remake, Halloween or Friday the 13th. Halloween won. But still, they spent $10 million on Friday the 13th. They got $45 million.
So they got $35 million profit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking profit.
All because it said Friday the 13th. If Friday the 13th would have never existed and Michael Bay and the douche fucks were the first ones to come out with it, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's original.
Exactly.
But it's not. They had the crutch of Friday the 13th to lean on. So they just put that title up there and just watch the money come in. because they see what's going on eBay. They see what's going on YouTube with horror movies. They're not fucking stupid. You are for buying into the remake bullshit. I'm sorry to fucking say it. But, you know, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I went and saw both Texas Chainsaw Massacres in the theater.
So did I.
I went and saw fucking Halloween 2 in the theater. I didn't see Halloween 1 in the theater. I don't know why.
Because you had the band and all that other shit going on at that time.
That's right. I went and I had the work print, so I didn't really need to. I saw Amityville in the theater. I've done it, you know. I went and saw My Bloody Valentine in the theater, all of it. And you know what? Every last one of those I walked out of. Well, it wasn't better than the original, but, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was like, that was pretty cool, you know. Arlie Ermey.
But that's what saved it, though.
Leatherface and Arlie Ermey are the only things that really held it together, because if you would have removed them and tried to make an original story out of it, it would have been even better, because at least it would have been an original story.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's really the name recognition saved it, and Arlie Ermey saved it, and the character of Leatherface held it all together.
But see, this is where it always
But none of them could fuck with the originals.
This is where it always chafes me, is with this shit. It's like, did this Leatherface, could he fucking hold up to the real Leatherfaces? No fucking way,
The
man.
Gunner and the one from 3.
No, not any of them, dude. Not any of those first 3, dude.
Well, 2, they didn't really unleash Leatherface in 2, really. They more unleashed Dennis Hopper.
But they unleashed him, though.
Yeah, in the beginning when he was whacking those fuckers in the convertible.
But no, they unleashed him because all the destruction he caused at the radio station and all that shit, man.
Crop top.
But no, like when he busted through that fucking wall because she locked herself in that cooler or whatever it was with the steel door. He's like, all right, fuck it, I'll come in through the fucking wall then. Fuck the steel door. Could the new... That's what always is the rip with me, is like, could the new updated versions of these slashers compare to the original ones from the original sequels? I say no way, man.
I think in Texas Chainsaw it would be close, but Gunner would win out, hands down.
And the dude from 3 would totally
And the dude from 3, yeah.
out.
Well, Kane Hodder was partly in that, so.
Yeah.
The new Jason against the old Jason? Pfft, dude, whatever.
Derek Mears would not win a battle versus any of them. He wouldn't even beat Roy. Dude, Roy's pretty cool.
No, I'll say he could take out Roy.
Nah, fuck no.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can have yours and I'll have mine.
Yeah,
and in my world, Derek Mears is 0 and
8.
8. 0 and 8.
0 and 7. Yeah. Well, no, because you're adding Roy, so yeah.
0 and 8.
Anyhow. No, then it would be 0 and 9. Wait, what the fuck would it be? Because you got Freddy vs. Jason, which is technically 11.
Okay, he would win that one. Derek Mears would win against Ken Kissinger. He would fuck that nigga up, but he wouldn't fuck up Ted White.
No.
Or fucking...
Brooker, no.
Brooker.
CJ Graham.
CJ Graham.
No. Kane Hodder,
he
hell
ain't
no.
fucking with no Kane Hodder, bro.
Hell no.
Kane Hodder would rip that little bean head off and just kick it in the lake, and that would be a short film.
So anyway, I mean, you see, we even have our differences of opinions, and it's cool like that. But, you know, we're kind of getting off track. The two things that we're trying to cover is the remake shit. It can't. I mean, really, nothing can be done about it. Again, it's just us, and it's just you. Hollywood doesn't care about you. You're the smart. You know that the classics are better, and what we need and want. Fuck what we need. What we want is new, original horror that's getting overshadowed by these re-rapes, by this plagiarism that's thrown in your goddamn face. That's all it is legal plagiarism.
Yeah, because like there isn't even any merit to any of the remakes, man.
There's really not. Just Rob Zombie's Halloween has merit.
There's
because,
some merit to that, but there isn't no merit to the Friday the 13th. Like, when my old lady's like, I love this. I was like, I fucking hate this. Yeah. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I
just felt abused.
Yeah, so did I.
I felt physically abused in the ear and the eyes.
Yeah.
So we're going to do one more, because obviously this ain't going to stop anytime soon. Well, maybe soon. We'll do one more, and we'll wrap it all up. Tell us what you think.